I just paid off the last of my credit card balance of $16,999.50 to Sears on January 5th. I used my severance from when I got laid off, now that I am working again. And at my highest point, I was $60,000 in credit card debt, and I've been in credit card debt for the last 30 years. I turn 54 next week, and I so wanted to be out of debt before that birthday. And now I am. I just cannot express how freeing this is, but I'm going to try to convey it in this video. Hi, I'm Nikki. Welcome to La Paz Bound. It feels amazing to have absolutely no credit card debt weighing us down anymore. I have been working on paying down this debt for the last 2 years. I sold my bags, my household items, my car, and anything else that I could to reduce the balance from this stupid purchases and charging daily life. And now the only debt that we have is our mortgage because Don paid off the last of his credit cards about 6 months ago. We are truly credit card debt free. And to be honest, I never thought I would see this day. It always seemed like an impossible hurdle. Every time I would attempt to pay off debt, something big would happen to derail it. Something would happen to our house that would cost us thousands and add to our debt. And then I lost my job in October, which I'm still pretty angry about because it puts us in a position where my 401k is just at a standstill. We're being in my 50s and in a tough economy where AI is taking the type of marketing job that I do. It was like a slap in the face. And I didn't know how long I would be unemployed. We were 3 months away from paying off our credit card debt, and we dropped down to one income when I lost my job, putting Don, my husband, in a position of not being able to retire for a while longer because now with me being a contractor, I was relying on his company for health insurance, which is twice as expensive as what I was paying, and which means that he needs to keep working longer. When I lost my salary job, it shifted our world and postponed our plans of building this safety net. And it took a toll on my mental health as well, where my gynecologist, she put me on antidepressants, which I take daily to just level out my mood. I don't think corporations truly understand the devastating effects of laying off their employees. Here's some severance to get you by for a while. Sign these papers to sever our relationship and don't pursue any legal action against us. You know, the emails that they send to try and smooth over the impact of layoffs to the remaining employees, it always ends with, and we wish Nikki nothing but the best in her future endeavors. You know what it should say? It should say, we hope Nikki is able to survive on the $20,000 we gave her for as long as possible and that she doesn't lose her house, go hungry, or need any major medical attention. But that's not really how it works, is it? You know, I feel very fortunate that I was able to find a contracting job so quickly. Would I have preferred a salary position with benefits? Yeah, of course. I am hourly now and I don't get paid for any company holidays. I don't get paid if I miss a day of work. So knock on wood over here that I don't get sick anytime soon. And it's been 10 years since I've had to work Christmas and New Year's week. But working from home, it wasn't too bad. Because I still had the bulk of my severance from being laid off in October, Don and I discussed what would make the most sense. So the remaining $17,000 that I owed on my Sears card, it was still at a 0% interest until October of this year. It was a balance transfer that I had done last year, so I still had 9 months before any interest kicked in. I only just started getting paychecks again around mid-December. And it seems like there's plenty to do at this contracting job to where over the course of a few months, I could rebuild my savings. So Don and I asked ourselves, what would Dave Ramsey suggest? Even though we both knew the answer. While we don't always agree with everything he says, we think that his basic approach of getting out of debt, it does work. With the payout of the severance and the rest of my vacation time that I was also paid for, paying off the remaining $17,000 of credit card debt, it would still leave us with a few grand in the bank. So we have an upcoming air conditioner maintenance bill of $1,300 to clean and sanitize our 2 units to extend the life of them, and then to also help with air quality in our house because we have 5 pets. And we have Pico's upcoming vet bill, for which he's due for vaccines, his seizure meds, his flea meds, and other yearly tests. So we felt confident that we could still pay for those things while still paying off the last credit card, that we wouldn't dip to dangerously low levels in our checking and savings accounts, which would force us to use a credit card again. So the other aspect that we considered was our mental impact. You know, being shackled to credit card debt, it feels like slogging through quicksand every month when making payments. And it is a constant reminder that we must keep working our 9-to-5 jobs to pay for past financial mistakes. It's like keeping one foot in the past rather than being open to more choices for our future and concentrating on what we want to do to better our financial selves rather than what we have to do to pay back the money that we borrowed. So before I made that last credit card payment, I worried about the cash that I was sitting on and dwindling it down. I mean, what if we had an emergency? How would we pay for it? I've never had a proper emergency fund before. But as soon as I paid off that Sears card, I felt immediately free. We both did. We were high-fiving each other. We were ripping up our payment plan for that credit card. We were celebrating future possibilities. We were crossing off one of our 2026 goals of paying off the last of our credit card debt. We felt relieved. We felt lighter, and we feel free. It's an amazing feeling to not owe money to anyone other than our mortgage and our regular monthly expenses like, electric, water, internet, and other common household bills. So our plan now is to save and rebuild our emergency fund because you know what? The bulk of the money from our paychecks, it's ours now. We can focus on saving for our future now that we are not stuck in the past. Let me know if you're in the process of getting debt-free or if you recently paid off your credit card and what you plan to do with your paychecks now that they're yours. If you like this video and this type of content, please like and subscribe to my channel, and I'll continue to bring you content. Until next time, hasta luego, my friends.